Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to the Bringing It Home show, and in this episode we're looking at the WE TA 2015, which is more commonly known as the P90. Yes, we're looking at the WE P90. Now this is one that I have somehow managed to evade all these years. Haven't really had any dealings with this whatsoever until I chronoed and shot the thing ahead of this episode. But here's the box as you'll see it. Let's get this thing open and find out what's going on. This is the tan version, not the black one. So it might be a little bit easier for you to pick up on camera. Obviously in the box we've got the gun with the magazine already installed. Set that to one side. We've also got extra springs here, which says for 8 kilogram, whatever that means. And we've also got a dinosaur, sort of T-Rex style themed speed loader, which is, you know, maybe a great plus, you never know. And we've also got the manual as well. Let's get the box to one side because we don't like talking about boxes because it's boring. Shazam! So here we have the WE P90. Now this thing, love or hate P90s, one thing you've got to sort of give them credit for is they're very, very small, they're sort of easy to shoulder, they're very ergonomic in terms of they're fully ambidextrous, you can operate all the controls from left and right hand side. The downside these things have, of course, is the size of the magazines. They are huge. But how easy this thing strips down and how compact it is makes it perfect for sort of short engagements or even long engagements if you want to. The only personal experience I have with P90s is I had a TM back in the day which I ran, which may have come from me being a bit of a Stargate SG1 fan, and I managed to get my hands on a original SG1 tack vest, which is why I justified buying it. Because magazines were really easy to get in pouches because it was purpose built for it, and for a TMP90, which was obviously the electric one, very minimal upgrades. I think it just had a Lilac barrel on it. The performance out of it was absolutely astounding. Obviously it's a bullpup styled rifle, so you've got the barrel starting from about here, so you've got a much longer barrel than what you think, but how compact this thing is obviously speaks for itself. Now, as far as construction goes, the whole body is polymer, and which is quite surprising actually. The upper receiver is polymer as well, with metal side rail sections and a metal top rail. All the internals, of course, are going to be metal as well, this being a gas blowback rifle. So this thing is ultra compact. It would be great for CQB, determining on what the FPS results are going to give us. The top rail here for mounting all your red dot sights, lasers and such and accessories. You can't fit grips to this thing because it is all moulded. However, it is very, very comfortable, very nice and planted in the shoulder. The top rail itself has iron sights built in, but you have to get so low where in face protection you're not going to get those iron sights. You're probably going to want to put a red dot on there. The magazine holds 50 rounds. It holds a hell of a lot of gas as well. Quite funky looking, and the way it actually distributes gas, it's got a little valve here, and then what it does is it connects with the valve on the stock. Oh, as you'll see there, a little bit of gas sort of sitting there, and what that will tell you is there's gas stored in the rifle as well, so even with the magazine not connected, I think this gun will still function. Maybe not, maybe they've changed that design. So there is gas stored in the gas route system in the gun itself. So if you do want to purge this, you of course push down the brass valve here and you can get rid of the gas out of the gun if you want to. What I'm going to do here, just so we can show you, I'm going to lock this feeder down so we can dry fire it. Great feature that these have. And from what I've been told about these, the rate of fire is absolutely outstanding for what it is, and for a P90 you'd expect it to be fast anyway. So if you are a P90 fan, I know there's not many of you out there. P90 is such a Marmite gun, you either love it or hate it. but you've got to give credit where it's due. It is ultra compact. It's made for sort of, you know, close engagements. It's so short. I mean, there's not many guns that can have sort of a silhouette that small. So your fire selector is found just in front of the trigger here. So we've got safe, semi and fully automatic. Charging hand up will be found on both sides, and the magazine release, which depending on whether you're shooting left or right handed, you tend to put your hand over the magazine and sort of push both at the same time and then lift up the magazine like so. So I think if you're getting into this, you've got to be a P90 fan to get this far, and if you're considering the gas blowback version, you want that extra realism, then good on you. This is going to take some it's going to take some commitment, especially with those magazines and how heavy they are. So with this magazine gas, we're just going to do a dry fire. Now this gun is empty, so don't panic. We're just going to do it on single shot. So let's just charge the P90. Nice and responsive there. Trigger is right there. It's very responsive. There's not much pre-travel on it whatsoever. And the reset is literally like a couple of millimeters. So it's very responsive. Let's do a burst on full auto now as well. Very quick, what you'd expect. So they seem to have got those aspects great out of the box with this thing. I'm not a massive fan of the big WE Tech arms made in Taiwan sticker here, but it does look like it can be removed and you might want to sort of get some laser engraving done or such forth. So let's get this through the chrono. We'll cut to the chrono results here, and you might just be surprised on how hard this thing shoots. So as you'll see there, this did shoot about 340-ish on the first shot, then it did rise up. The average on these is about 380. So if you're going to want to be sight friendly, especially for CQB, you're going to have to be using a bit more of a weaker gas, like perhaps 144A or the sort of the lower powered Abbey gases. This is using green gas, of course. So you might want to go down to weaker gases, or perhaps fit like an MPAS or other different valves. You're probably going to want to bring that FPS down, but the rate of fire on this thing is absolutely outstanding, which is probably what you buy it for. The hop up is a wheel just located inside here, which can be turned. It's like a rotary style hop up, very easy to adjust. It gives a great feeling to it. There's no sort of reciprocating bolt that's open compared to other gas blowback rifles, so it is all kind of housed in the stock, but it does give you a nice bit of feedback when firing it. We'll cut to the 10 metre accuracy test now. For all intents and purposes, this thing should do well, but we'll see in just a moment. So this is one of those Marmite guns. You'll see from the accuracy test there, it didn't do too badly. Of course, this is going to run better if you're running heavier ammo, which with the gas blowbacks you tend to do, because they tend to perform better with heavy ammo. You probably want to be running at like 0.3s as a minimum here. So just to wrap it up, very nice little replica here. Like I said, it is a bit Marmite. If you're buying something like this for what they cost us anyway, you know, you've got to be committed to the P90 platform and ruin it as it is. And if you are looking for more realism, this has got it for you. 50 round magazine there, so you've got more compared to other gas blowback rifle platforms. What I do have to sort of mark it down for is the moulding on the stock. On the back here, you can see where it's flashed. There's like a lot of flashing from where it's come out of the mould, and it can be a bit sharp in places, so you just got to be careful with that. It would have been nice for the money, because this isn't a cheap rifle at all, that all the body parts as well would have been metal, just give it a bit more heft up front, because it is very rear sort of weight orientated. But I've had good fun with this thing. It was fun to shoot. If I was buying one myself, I would have to find some way to downgrade the power and use it, and you're going to have to find a way to carry these magazines because they are beastly. You've got the same problem if you're running the AEG version, but obviously with the AEG version you haven't got all the extra weight that comes with these magazines, because they are quite weighty compared. To be honest though, for a gas magazine it's not too bad. Much lighter than the MP5 that we did in the last episode. These things, just like the real ones, are really easy to strip down. You push a button here, the front end comes out. That is the barrel and hop unit in the front end. We can sort of take the rest of it apart as well. I believe the bolt comes out just like so. So any maintenance and stuff you need to do, no tools needed. If you want to put like an impasse or a downgrade valve, I think you can get some by FG Airsoft, some little sort of restrictor valves, which is probably what you're going to want with this thing to reduce the power just ever so slightly. And then with that bolt removed, we can remove the stop piece here, and you've got access to all the bits in the back of the gun. There's a couple of levers and such here. I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have no idea what they do, so forgive my ignorance here. This is a brand new one for me. Very easy to put back together as well. Just slide the stop back in. We're going to put the bolt back in as well. Let's go. Sort of drops down into place. So I've got that the wrong way. So I'm doing it the wrong way. So what that system actually does with the magazine, of course, what you don't want, and this is probably why they've done it, what you don't want is the magazine feeding gas straight down. If you've ever fired a gas blowback pistol or rifle upside down, you'll find doing that spurts the gas propellant out rather than the liquid propellant out rather than the gas propellant. And obviously with the magazine feeding straight down, obviously you don't want that to happen. So what this unique system does, love it or hate it, is it takes the gas feed from the magazine, takes it down into the stock and then back up like a more conventional gas blowback, and that's why it works so well. Let's put the front stock back here. I'm just going to put this back into place. There we go, clickety click. And we are back together. So I've had great fun with this. Like I say, it is an expensive piece, but for you collectors out there, for you P90 enthusiasts that want like a gas blowback or something a bit more realism, this is the perfect thing for you. Comes in black and tan. Of course, it's missing the trades because they don't have the license to put them on there from the get-go. But for this and many of the WE products, hit up our website, bespokeairsoft.co.uk. We've got loads of new stuff on there. Biggest WE delivery we've had since opening the company. And while I'm on the subject, check out the special offer section. We've got loads of budget and premium line AEGs and accessory parts and all that good stuff for knockdown prices. Some of it is even up to like 64% off and more. So be sure to check that out, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.